G'day everyone, how you going? Hope you're having a good day today, and Merry Christmas. Only about a week and a half away now before we have Christmas and I get some holidays. Yes, yeah, it's about the only time of the year I get a couple of weeks off, which will be really nice to spend with my family and everything, and have a bit of R&R. Hope you're getting all your Christmas shopping done. I'm a bit behind on that. But don't worry, I'll get it sorted eventually. Anyway.
Now I'll just get my present for you, which is right outside the door.
Alright, so what's this video about? Well, it's about this computer here. A dreaded all-in-one. You know how I feel about these things. Even worse, it's made by Acer. And Acer is a brand I don't like, mainly because I used to work for them many years ago, and I've seen the quality of their parts, and I can tell you now it's not great. So I normally don't sell Acer, but I didn't buy it in, and the customer just gave it to me. He said, here you go, I don't want it anymore. I bought a HP replacement because this one was getting too slow, and I went, okay, thanks, not a problem. And basically said I can do what I like with it. So I thought at least I'll clean it up. It had paint speckles on it. He must have been painting his wall or something. So I cleaned all that up, wiped the drive, reloaded Windows 10, and just to see how well it worked. And I found out it was an old, what we call an Optane system, where they have a 128 gig little SSD and like a 1 terabyte normal mechanical drive in it. And the idea is the little SSD would cache the big mechanical drive and make it run better. But all that's not supported anymore by Intel. It's all history. That's one of the main issues. The other issue I found is it's got a 7th gen i5 in it, which is not supported by Windows 11. But the good things about it is it has trusted platform 2.0, which is what we need. And it appears that we may be able to switch out the CPU in 8th or 9th gen, and then Windows 11 would be supported. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to be opening it up and replacing the CPU. I happen to have a 9th gen i5 that I've salvaged from another computer a while back. I tend to do that. I salvage parts from faulty computers that have been thrown away, and then try to repurpose them. And I'll also take out that Optane system and just put a normal NVMe 512 gig drive in it. And this is another part I've taken out of an old computer that's been scrapped, and put all that in, and hopefully we'll be able to run Windows 11 and it'll be fully supported. And then this computer can be sold as a refurb and to someone that needs a computer. And in this climate, with the RAM prices going through the roof because of those scummy AI companies taking it all, computers are going to get expensive, so this is going to be where people go, or it's one of the places people will go, is refurb. So it's definitely worthwhile doing this, and also it prevents a computer being thrown into e-waste unnecessarily. So we'll get set up, and we'll pull this thing apart and switch it out and see how we go. All right, I'll see you shortly. All right, I got my trusty piece of dense packing foam that I use to protect the screen. What I usually do is just lie the screen face down on that, and boom, there we go. I haven't actually looked up how to open this thing. Well, I have, but only briefly. But from what I can see, we just pop out this little plastic piece, and in here is 4 screws that we need to remove. This will release the stand, and we can remove the stand. There we go, stand off. And now we're down to just the screen part of it. And what I saw online for opening this is 1, 2, 3 screws we have to undo. So we'll do that. And from this point on, it's all about prying, as it usually is with these. And the reason why I don't like them, because the screen's right here, so if you do something stupid or you flex it too much, you can easily crack the screen. But this one seems a bit sturdier because it's got the big thick touchscreen glass on it, so it's probably a little bit easier than some of these other ones I've worked on. I've already got it started, which is good. So I'm just going to do a bit of sliding around here. I've got it started over here. Yeah, there we go. Spin around. I hate it when it you get it going and then it slips and then clicks back in where it was. It's really annoying. Like that. Come on. I hate all-in-ones. Why do they have to make it so hard? Alright. I think I got it.
Nope.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Alright. We are inside this thing. So it has a DVD drive, which you don't get any more these days. It's actually using a mechanical drive, but it's actually a drive they use in laptops. So it's a smaller 2.5 inch. We've got dual cooling fans. Looks like a small amount of dust build up here, so I'll give that a good clean out. But I'll be doing dust clean and thermal paste and everything. That's just pretty much standard. But the area of interest we're looking for is all going to be under this bit here. So we'll need to get this plate off, and we'll be ditching this drive, take that out, get rid of it, because the idea is we'll be using M.2 SSD instead. Alright, so we'll get this panel off. So it looks like it's just a few screws. The hardest part about all-in-ones is getting that stupid plastic cover off nearly every time. They're always a bit of a pain. There's only very few that haven't given me trouble. Alright, that seems to be clear. So let's see if we can get this to come off. And bingo, we're in. So there's the little SSD right there. So there's our M.2. We've got laptop memory. So basically this is just a hybrid. Yeah, that's the best way to call it, a hybrid. So we've got like a normal CPU under here, then we've got laptop memory, an M.2, and then a laptop hard drive over here. So this is sort of what they do with these all-in-ones, not just like a desktop, it's more like a laptop, and therefore you get sort of laptop performance. So we need to get this out, and we need to get this CPU out, and I'll have a look at this memory. It's only got 8 gig of RAM in it, so I'd rather have 16 gig in there. So I'll see if I've got some used RAM that will match up with that one. And it's only got one stick, so it's not even using dual channel.
What idiot designed this thing?
Which is another beef of mine, is these companies making computers run in single channel, which is actually slower. Like, you know, it's not hard just to put a couple in, you know. Anyway, let's get the CPU heatsink off. I always go diagonal even when I'm releasing, because we want to make sure the CPU comes off evenly, because sometimes that paste can stick and pull on the CPU, so I'd rather do it evenly. And there's one screw over here that holds the heatsink. There's two screws to hold the heatsink onto the graphics chip. Right, look at that, there we go. So there's the whole heat pipes. Dust wise, it's not looking too bad. What's the paste like? Paste is hard. So yeah, the paste has gone hard and dry, so it's probably not working all that great. But we'll put some new stuff on there. And there's the CPU. And it is using a normal desktop socket. So there you go. So this will definitely be upgradable. And it's definitely an i5 7400T. There you go. So yeah, not supported by Windows 11. So what we're going to do is release that. Take him out, and we're going to put in the not brand new, but the newer i5 9500K. Uses the same socket as the 7400T, so as long as the BIOS recognizes it, we'll be all good. And that'll be the next thing I check before I go too far. I'll just take out this old drive, because we're not going to be using it at all. So what I think I might do now is just quickly make sure that the CPU is detected, but I'll have to clean this up first and put it back on. Now with the heatsink, we need to treat it just like a laptop and do it in the order that the numbers show. So number 1 is here, number 2, number 3, 4, and then 5 and 6, and then finish it all off. And I've set my screwdriver to number 1, the lowest setting, so I don't want to over tighten it. And then the one screw over here. Alright, so now with the heatsink in place, we can test whether it detects the CPU or not, because I'm not 100% sure it's going to work or not. So it's worth testing first, because some motherboard manufacturers, the BIOS won't support it, and it should be a power button somewhere in here. So it tries to turn on, but nothing goes further than that. So that's got me thinking possibly we can't run that one, which will be disappointing. Yeah, it turns on and turns off immediately. So, alright, we'll have to go to plan B. It doesn't like the 9th gen. I might have to go to an 8th gen, but I don't have an i5 in the 8th gen. I only have an i3, but I guess that's still better than nothing. Well, that's disappointing, but there was always a possibility that would be the case, that the motherboard doesn't support it, because it is an Acer motherboard. It's not like a normal motherboard. So yeah, we'll try this i3 8100 and we'll see if that will work with it.
A few moments later.
Fingers crossed that it takes an 8th gen, because it did not like the 9th gen. Refused to work with it. And still not working. Well, that was a short video.
A few moments later.
Alright everyone, so I put the old CPU back in and turned it on and it works fine. But this just highlights the problem with these all-in-ones and proprietary computers. You really are at the mercy of what they decide, and in this case they've made it so you can't just put a normal processor in there by the looks of it, or possibly you can't put an 8th gen in because they haven't updated the BIOS enough so that it can be detected. I guess that's it for now, unless I find a CPU online. We end up with unnecessary e-waste because you just can't upgrade them. But I will try a little bit harder, and I will see if I can get a CPU, a T version CPU, and if I can, I will get it.
My eyes, the goggles do nothing.
And I've managed to locate a i5 8500T and an i5 9500T on eBay. So I've gone ahead and ordered those. They were only about $60 to $70 each, so not too bad. I'm just hoping that it is just, we need to have a T processor. I really need to look up what the T processor means. How about we ask good old Google what it means?
The T in an i5, like the i5-9100T, means it's a power-optimized desktop processor with a significantly lower thermal design power, TDP, typically 35W instead of the standard 65W, achieved by using lower base and turbo clock speeds. This makes the T-series ideal for small, quiet or energy-efficient systems, but they deliver lower performance than the standard non-T variants.
Alright, you heard it from Google, people. They're a low-power version of this desktop processor. So not normal. So that would explain why it's not working. It's drawing too much power and the computer can't handle it. So yes, we definitely need a T processor. We'll have to wait for those to come in. Hopefully they'll get here before Christmas, and then I can get this video done. Further makes me feel the way I feel about all-in-ones, that they're crap, running much less power than a normal desktop.
Several days later.
Alright everyone, it's been just over a week and I finally got the other CPUs. This is a 9500T, and this one I've just tried. It was a 8500T, and the computer, just like the normal i5 900 and the i3 8100, it does exactly the same thing. The fans spin and then it stops and won't go any further. And then I put the original CPU back in, works straight away. So there you have it. That's it. There's no more avenues to go with this thing. Basically, the motherboard on this all-in-one hasn't had a BIOS update to support the 8th and 9th gen, even though the socket can support it, and therefore it's game over. I can't actually get this to 8th gen in order to make it Windows 11 compatible, which is just stupid and very annoying, but not much I can do. I'm running the latest BIOS, and once again just highlights the problems of proprietary motherboards, where you're at the mercy of the manufacturer, because you can only use their stuff. You get motherboards that should be able to take an 8th gen that refuse to work with it because they haven't updated it, and probably won't because it's too old and they don't care. There's another rant from me about all-in-ones. I just don't like them. This should work with an 8th gen. It should. But Acer has decided, no, can't be bothered. I'll take all the memory and SSDs off because they're worth something at the moment. But other than that, it's off to the e-waste guy. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you're having a good break at the moment if you're on holidays with Christmas and everything. I do have another video coming right before Christmas, but this one is like an in-between. I was hoping to have this out a lot earlier, but I had to wait for those CPUs to come and before I could check whether I could get this going, but it turns out I can't. So I'll catch you in the next vid. Bye for now.